sized hammock. See, that's a hammock there, and it's just perfect for lots of fun during the summertime. So the things that you will need are all placed here on this mat. So you first will need, make sure that you have a measuring tape, and then you will need 2 pieces of doweling or sticks. I found those sticks as well. And they are about, here we go, 10 inches or 12, which is 31 centimeters, or 24 centimeters, 25 centimeters. Anywhere in between that size is perfect because that gives you room to tie knots on. You also need some rope, and I measured this rope out to be approximately, because you don't have to be really exact on this, but the rope is about 63 centimeters. That gives you nice rope for tying and working with. I have also here another choice. If you wanted to make your ends of your hammock with these little paddles, popsicle stick type paddles, and they are actually a good length. Those particular, they're kind of fancy, they're wavy, and they are 8 inches, 20 centimeters, so that works really well. You also need to have your scissors handy and have a little needle and thread that will help you just get your knots tied up tight, sewn up tight. You also will need a piece of fabric, and your fabric should be, let me see here, this is the right length. This is a very nice length to work with. Your fabric should be, see, in centimeters, 79 centimeters long, and in width you would like it to be 36 centimeters wide. So I'll make sure that you can see that written out. Also in my directions, or on my little mat here, I have string. In case you can't find rope, you can use string, and I will make another little separate video and show you how to make cool rope out of string. So with your fabric, you can use any piece of material. You might find some in your mom's stash, or you might have some around that, something that you can make and use out of to make your hammock. What I actually did was I found this at the dollar store, which is one of those little accent scarves. So it's not very thick, and of course it's way too long, but it works really perfect if you put it right in half and fold it so that it doesn't have a twist. Mine's got a twist right now, so I'll fold it again in half, and there we go. And the thing with this is that you probably would get your mom or someone to help you sew it together. Same with any piece of fabric, you'll like to get it hemmed. So it might be a good time for you to try to learn how to use a sewing machine with your mom, or maybe you already know how to use a sewing machine, or maybe your mom or somebody in your family will do that for you. Okay, so once you have it, this piece here is already done, and once you have it all hemmed, if you can see we got it kind of just hemmed. We use the sewing machine for that. So once you have it all hemmed like that, you want to take one end and take a nice little corner like that and tie it into a knot around your dowel. So that's a little tricky to do because you don't want to use too much of your fabric, but you want to get it there so it's nice and tight, and there it is. Look, that's one side, and then you take the other side and you go about half, right? It's okay if it bunches up and it's smaller at the top, and you tie your second knot. And you could be all thumbs like I am here. Now here's where your needle and thread come in handy, because these knots can come loose. So what you would like to do once you got them is take your needle and thread. Are you good with the needle and thread? This is not also another time that you can get some practice on making or threading needles and sewing. And all you want to do is, doesn't even matter if it's really neat. All you want to do is just sew that knot so that it's not going to come loose, and that will make it a lot more fun for you. Then you figure out how to do that little knot on the end there. I had already pre-done this needle and thread, but that's okay. You can work on that. And you do your knot, make sure it's through tight and thick enough so that it's not going to come loose. I do it a knot a couple of times just so that I'm sure it's not going to come apart. And you do that same thing with all the other corners. And you cut it off and you go for the next one. Turn off your rope and do the same thing. You want to tie it around the outside of the dowel and pull it as tight as you can as you go through with your knots. And then you take your second one, tie it to that side, and you do the same to the other side. And then you have a very nice little hammock, perfect doll sized. So I will tie those other two quickly. That. And then we got this side. There, as tight as I can. And this side here. And voila! Your hammock is all done and ready for Alexi to try it. So what I'm going to do is actually, because it's not on a hanger just right now, is I'm going to take Alexi and set her inside it and hold it up so that you can see how nicely she fits into the hammock. How do you like that, Alexi? Now the trick is, where can you hang your hammock once you've got it made? Well, you can find more rope and string and tie it actually around trees, but sometimes there's not always trees available. So I found some sticks, and let me see, I pounded them into the ground, but right now I'm not using the ground, so I can show you how they hooked onto my stick. Oh, sorry Alexi, that hurt. And there you go.